Hi guys, today we're talking about keeping an eye on your tenants. So if you're a landlord or an investor, uh, quite an important thing that I try and push to clients really is it's very tempting to buy a commercial property, especially if it's nowhere near where you live or you might even be living abroad. And with commercial property, it's quite nice because you can let it, forget it almost, and then expect that your rent comes in. However, it is a bit of a moving feat and a bit of an animal in itself, in that I personally think you need to keep a little bit of an eye on it to make sure that basically the tenant's not doing anything in the property that is untoward, where they're not in serious breach of the lease, they haven't done anything that's going to seriously affect the ability for you to re-let the property later, and to make sure that they've been behaving themselves. And that doesn't mean that you've got to go and have a nice fluffy landlord and tenant relationship and go in there and shake their hand and have a cup of tea with them every single week. It does mean, however, though, that you should potentially think about dropping in now and then if it's doable, or if you have an agent involved, or even a surveyor that does some ad hoc work for you, get them to go down and just check things out periodically. It might be every 6 months, every 12 months, even every 12 months is perfectly fine, just to make sure that things are being done correctly, that the tenant's maintaining the property, that they haven't illegally built an extension out the back without your permission, that haven't installed things without your permission, they haven't made any major alterations, that they're not in breach significantly in terms of their lease. Because the sooner you find out about those kind of things, the sooner you can either have the conversation with them to regularise what they're doing and maybe extract some value from that ultimately, and also just to make sure that they're doing things correctly, where you're not going to have to take enforcement action on them later to forfeit the lease or that kind of thing. So it means that hopefully it keeps the lines of communication open. Any major defects or problems will hopefully get flagged earlier on as well, so you can deal with those if you have to, and it kind of keeps the dialogue going without being too kind of connected in that respect, and kind of creating that personal friction, which can sometimes be the case. So either yourself or preferably an external person, have them check the property periodically, report back on anything that's that seems out of place, and that way you can keep on top of things, keep on top of the value side of things, and actually you can extract some value further down the line as a result as well. Hope you found this useful. By all means, fire us some questions. We'll try and cover any topics that you fire, any specific questions you have in any future videos, or we'll message you back, and we'll see you next time.